In the snowy mountains, something strange happened. The wet firewood that others could not light was always easily lit by the head of the cooking team. When the soldiers asked him how he did it, he never gave them an answer. Everyone thought he was being selfish. But in fact, the fuel he used was the cotton from his own clothing. Food was also a problem. The head cook had to collect leftover flour from stone mills. Every time he made soup, he scraped the bottom of the pot again and again. But the machine gunner was still hungry. The political officer saw this and tried to give him his own soup, but the gunner quickly turned it down. Seeing this, the youngest soldier in the cooking team poured his soup into the gunner's bowl. Then he ate candy in front of everyone and even shook the candy tin. Seeing this, the officer and gunner said nothing more. The troops kept moving forward. They had to cross the snowy mountain as soon as possible. The machine gunner asked the boy if the candy was sweet. The young soldier understood what he meant, but he changed the subject on purpose. The gunner walked away in silence. The boy quietly carried the big pot and ran to catch up with the head cook. As he walked, his vision slowly faded. A teammate looked back and saw the boy sitting in the snow. He tried to pull him up to keep moving, but the boy had already died, still holding a piece of candy he had not eaten. The officer wanted to help him eat one last bite, but when he brought it to his mouth, he realized it was only a small stone. Everyone fell silent. The officer opened the candy tin. Inside, there were only cold stones. At that moment, they finally understood. He gave his soup to others, even though he was starving. But he would never leave that mountain. To avoid slowing the march, the soldiers held back their sadness and kept going. Meanwhile, the head cook had already made hot soup and waited for the team. But when he saw the candy tin hanging from the officer's belt, his face changed. He looked around for the young soldier, but the wind was the only answer. The troops kept marching. The cooking team still led the way, making fires and preparing meals. But when it was time to start the fire, the head cook had no cotton in his sleeves, so he used the last bit of cotton from his chest as fuel. The tiny flame he lit brought hope of survival to the freezing soldiers. The head cook closed his eyes to rest. The officer brought him warm water, but the cook had already closed his eyes forever. When they saw his clothes had no cotton left, they finally understood his secret. He had lit their path with his own life. This was a true story. In that march, not one soldier froze or starved to death. Only the 9 cooks closed their eyes forever in the snowy mountains.